welcome. It's me, Lulu. Welcome back to the channel. Today is another video about my holy grails and figures that's been on my wish list that I've been hunting for, and it's finally here. This figure is actually it's number one on the list, and if you don't know already, I am a huge Guilty Gear fan. It's one of my favorite fighting game series of all time. I really believe that Guilty Gear is just a great rom-com, alright? It just so happened to be a fighting game. But anyways, if you don't know, my favorite character in the game is Jacko Valentine's, and she is such an amazing character. I love her personality and her story within the game itself, and I had to pick up a figure of her. And if you don't know, Guilty Gear figures was made a long time ago, and the company Aquamarine actually went bankrupt, so there was only a few Guilty Gear figures that has came out with no re-release, and the aftermarket for them are very, very high. That really includes like Saul Bad Guy, Jam, Jacko, Kai. I think Elfelt in general is relatively affordable on the aftermarket, not compared to like the rest. Yeah, I see another posting here a month ago on my figure collection. Someone's trying to sell it for 600 plus shipping. On Solaris currently, she's sold out. But according to the Solaris post 2 months ago, she was about 89,289 yen. Yeah, if you don't know what I'm talking about, it is the Jacko 1/7 scale by Aquamarine, and I have the box already here for you to open, and we're gonna go through the unboxing together, okay? So, the Guilty Gear box in general has very similar design to the whole figure series in general. Has the aesthetic of Guilty Gear, and we have the blister window in the sides that shows all the different details of the character in the figure. And a small thing that they added here is actually the Jacko lantern, the ball and chain that she has. It actually lights up with a specific battery that you actually put into it, but there's actually no on and off switch, so it's a little bit of a hassle to put together. So I usually don't even I just disregard that. But it's really cool once in a while to see it light up. So we have the front here. This box in general would probably be a B or a C grade. Again, it's a really old figure, so it's pretty common to see a box like this, sort of small dents on the side. But generally, it's kept very well. And you can see the actual figure photos on all the different sides. And so how I came across this figure was actually on Zen Market. I use Zen Market a lot compared to Bai. I don't really prefer either or, but I just kind of use Zen Market generally for now. And I found it on there, and I had a bidding war with another person that kind of extended the actual bidding time to probably over an hour, and we were bidding back and forth. I'm not even sure where's this person from, and if they are looking for the GRAIL as much as me. So thank you to the other person for letting me win this figure. And overall, I think I paid definitely under aftermarket value at the time, and I do not regret getting this figure in general, just because I love the character and I really wasn't even sure the next time I was gonna see a brand new figure for bidding. And at the time the yen was pretty low, so I think in terms of deal, it's probably the best deal. Anyways, let's open it up. And she comes separate from the stand, her base in general. And I think the most finicky thing is probably the chain that's connected to her leg from the ball and chain. I think that was probably the most annoying part that I found. Other than that, she's partly already assembled. You just put her on the base, chain on her leg, and then if you wanted to add the lights in the ball and chain, you had to kind of disassemble the jack-o'-lantern in parts and then add the battery. But I'm thinking I might try to find another way to add the lights in, a little bit more crafty. You know me, you know, I wouldn't using my cosplay knowledge to the test here, and maybe I can find out a way to kind of add the lights to be able to turn off and off just for the aesthetic. Overall, this is the Guilty Gear Xer Jacko, not to be confused with the Jacko from Guilty Gear Strive. As you can tell, her hair is flipped from the light beige top and then a layer of the red at the bottom, and while the Strive one, she has the red hair on top and the white layer in the inside. And this is her standard pose, reminiscent to her character art in general. And I honestly love this pose a lot. It's really iconic. It has like all of the personality that I think encaptures Jacko, and her mask is just so cool. With the ball and chain, it's a really unique design, and you know Guilty Gear is all about design. And she has no exception. She has a lot of tied back to, again, like most of Guilty Gear characters have tied back to some type of music reference and whatever Daisuke likes, you know. And there's no exception for her. She has a little bit of a Halloween theme and also music references, and I just like the overall design and how they kind of incorporate the halo into the figure. It's not that intrusive unless you kind of like really look from the side, and I think a clear support set for her halo is definitely not intrusive. And I like the way the halo shines through because it's not completely opaque. When you have your figure lights in your cabinet on, it has a bit of a glow to it just because the outside rim of the halo is yellow, but the inside's like slightly sheer, so you can see through it, so the light really shines through and it kind of makes the halo look like it's bright, it's on, it's lit. And as you can see here, her necklace, her choker necklace is movable, and I think that's the only prop really in her figure that has sort of a different material to it. As you can see, the rope of the necklace in general is more of a rope material, and rest of her piece is very just solid pieces. the quality issues on this figure in general is I find that the hair sculpt and the hair painting could have been a little bit more refined. I know it's a bit harder, especially in those areas, or to define it when the hair's supposed to be white or like blonde and red at the same time. So it could have been painted a little bit more refined, but overall it's not bad. There's actually some light shading on the bell bottoms of her suit here, which I really love. I think that's such a great little oomph to the design. Again, there's actually more shading throughout, and it's nice to see all this small detail in the figure, especially for Guilty Gear designs, like the groovy tag at the very bottom of her bell bottoms, and the way they sculpted her back. As you can see in the back, she has sort of like a accessory piece on the back, and they did that pretty well. I have no complaints about that. Again, there is a few painting issues in general, but I'm glad that that didn't show in the eyes, because I think the eyes are done perfectly in her expression and her face. They definitely did not I can tell they spent a little bit more time on that in general. And her mask, you know, I think definitely the mask turned out perfectly. And I love the different colors they use, the paints. You can see that her gloves are perfectly glossy, and the contrast between the glossiness to the metallic of the mask is really cool. And then the flat matte of the hair to the pearlescent of the suit. I think overall they did a great job mixing the different colors and adding texture to it, and it is a great figure. Like, if you love Guilty Gear and you like Jacko as much as me, I think it's definitely worth picking up, especially if you can get it perfectly brand new or used with like a B condition maybe. I've seen a lot of listings online where it's a used with no box, and the figures come with something broken already, and it's kind of hard not to not see those posts just because the figure, it is quite old. So finding a brand new figure, I really recommend trying to get those type of listing, even on the aftermarket. I think that's pretty much the only way. And if you love Guilty Gear or you're just starting out, I know the May figure by Broccoli just came out, and I love Broccoli as a manufacturer in general. They made my Hazama figure, and I think the May one turned out pretty well. I'm personally not a huge fan of May. I know I think Memoyoi is making a Ram figure, which I would love to pick up. And then Union Creative is making a Biken figure. I have no idea when's that coming out, but I'm hoping we get more Guilty Gear figures in general pretty soon, in scale form, of course, because I know there's a few, like there's a Soul Bad Guy action figure, posable one, and there's like a 1/9 scale Jacko coming out in her iconic Jacko pose. I might pick those up, but I'm really looking forward to picking up more scales. In terms of my Holy Grail, I think I'm pretty much all set. I do have my Ram figure made by Freeing here, and the 1/8 scale Dizzy by Alter that I really love. I think if I had extra funds, I would pick up the Jam figure or the Eno figure, but overall I think I'm pretty satisfied with my pick, because I really love Ram, Jacko, and Dizzy right now. So I'm going to do a 2020 end of the year collection video, so look forward for that coming out pretty soon. I'm just waiting for the rest of my December haul items to come in, so I'll make sure that everything's up to date. But thank you very much for hanging out with me and spend a few minutes with me while I talk about the most expensive figure that I have bought so far in my collection. And I doubt I would ever spend that much ever again, but we'll see in the future. Alright guys, thank you so much. Bye. Ooh, she looks so good.